Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with two Overwatch matches. The first one is going to be Center Overwatch White facing off against the University of Southern Maine, or USM. The second, which will be in about an hour from now, is Center Overwatch Gold facing off against UAH Blue. Starting off here, we are on Nepal. We are in the Sanctum. We're going to see how this control point map plays out. Center is the blue team here on the left. See, Big Soup opting to start here on the Orisa. Chonky Ghost on the May. Doodoo Voodoo on the Reaper. Star Garden and Rat King holding it down on Lucio and Moira, respectively. Over here on the side of USM, we're going to see a Junker Queen comp come out, at least at the beginning here. As well as a Cassidy and two, that's two hit scans for their DPS lineup. So that's a bit interesting. Center looking to speed the point here. Will they be meeting on the same side? It looks like not. They've met on two totally opposite sides. So Center kind of up on this high ground here, whereas USM sort of in this hallway. Both decent positions to be in. And they're looking for some kind of poke damage here. We're going to see some people rotate around the left of Center. Star Garden getting awfully low, but it's going to be Doodoo Voodoo with the first pick of the match. Center looking to rotate back around, not wanting to push into them, only having one pick so far. I'm going to try to make that two. Speeding in, trying to take advantage of this numbers advantage that they have. Chunky Ghost does fall, but the rest of USM is going to either die or back out of this. I liked that patience there from USM to try to wait for their fallen teammate and just go ahead and regroup, but Center, with Star Garden especially, looked to just pop that speed, get in really, really quick. Rat King somehow able to already have built up a Coalescence, and Big Soup as well, the opening ult of the match, but the first pick's going to be against Center. That's Rat King falling middle of the Coalescence. Picks are even here, and Center has burnt two ults. Still managing to keep USM out of the point here. Building up some other ultimates quite quickly. I mean, Big Soup, though he did just die, is already 50% to another ultimate. I mean, Center is doing a lot of damage, a lot of healing in this fight. Center backing up to the point here. Star Garden getting awfully hurt. Oh, 10 HP, and they do fall. Ooh, the point flips, which means Chonky Ghost is in a really, really bad position here. Not able to get that value from stalling on point. They're grouping up here, looking for a big engage. Doodoo Voodoo trying to get this other angle, split a little bit of the intention here. In kind of a scary spot. Oh, maybe looking to ult there. But the other fight is going a little bit more favorably, and that's Doodoo Voodoo making people not invested in this larger fight that's happening on the inside of the point here. And that's going to give Center what they need to go ahead and win this fight. Pulling off the Moira, getting some extra damage in here. 35% on the point. That's all USM got from that cap they got a little while back. And that's 80% here for Center College. Could be last fight territory here for USM. We'll see if Doodoo Voodoo has anything to say about it. The second they walk through this is going to be a Death Blossom, almost certainly. The beat is going to be able to sustain them, but, that's a resource they no longer have. Center still has ultimates here. Rat King with the Coalescence, going to be able to take that Queen down, or either it's Big Soup who picks up the final hit of that. Ultimates out from both sides, but it looks like Center is the one sustaining through this fight. And that's going to get them to 99%. Everyone from USM has fallen. That's going to be the first sub-map of Nepal going to Center College. See if the comps stay the same here. Looks like center is looking for roughly the same thing. Chonky Ghost making a swap over to the Soldier 76. Looks like Big Soup onto the Zarya, so I take that back. Center looking to run a fairly different comp here.
We're almost there. Do not let up now.
Answering a quick question there. Dudu able to get that first pick for Center College here. Big Soup getting awfully hurt, but with the bubbles, able to sustain through this. Getting a lot of damage in here, and great backup from the supports behind to be able to sustain through all this. Great Suzu there from Star Garden. Just a couple stragglers left here, and it's going to be a pretty easy cleanup here for Center College.
I'm here.
That's better.
Alrighty here. We're going to see another engagement here for USM. Getting onto the point here. Rat King with the first ultimate. Overclock online for USM. Doesn't look like it's finding a whole lot. Ooh, I misspoke. That's going to be Rat King falling to that. And Center losing the point here.
That warms the bones.
Dudu doing some sneaky things here in the back line. On to the Junker Queen here. That's two ults out here for Center College. The beat is going to sustain them through it. Picks come out. One dead on either side here. And now two dead on the side of USM. Looks like this is Center's fight to win, and they're going to be doing it right here. Rat King falling as well, but still a pretty favorable trade for Center. Alrighty, Dudu doing sneaky things here once again in the back line. Looking to get a pick onto this Lucio. Star Garden, they are going to use this Kitsune Rush here. Dudu is falling in this fight. The percentage starts to tick up pretty close to 99, but this might be a little, too little, too late with these ultimates. We'll see if this is going to be enough. Chonky goes with a great pick onto the Soldier and a pick onto the Junker Queen from Dudu. This is starting to turn in Center's favor, but still a relatively even fight here. One more pick out for Center College, but that's going to be Chonky Ghost dying to the headshot. And Center does clean it up here, and that's going to be Center taking the first sub-map. That is Nepal for Center College White. Going to be Big Soup with the play of the game. See you in just a moment for map number 2. All right, folks, map number 2. We are heading to Rialto in beautiful Venice. This type of map, a bit different here on these escort maps than the control point ones that we just saw. Can often enable some very different types of comps. You know, poke and dive opportunities for kind of long range damage. And we'll see a little bit of that here with Chonky Ghost swapping over to the Ash and Tomar on the side of USM on the Widowmaker. So these are very, very different picks. But we will still Trilobite, still sticking on that Junker Queen. Perhaps for this kind of close quarters beginning section here.
Let us see to it.
Big Soup on the Orisa here, and Dudubudu on the Reaper. Maybe taking a look at this funky little robot thing that's floating in the air.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Chonky Ghost taking the high ground here. Ooh, that's going to be an immediate pick from Tomar onto Dudubudu. Very scary to just immediately be down one in the fight. We're going to see that swap forced Dudubudu onto the Sombra, maybe looking to kind of get into the back line and take out that Widow later in the fight. Big Soup with a pick onto that Widow. Still doesn't quite even things up as Rat King does fall as well. So they are making this progress on the payload. Center really looking to make sure that they live here. Really great pricks here on the Trilobite. Lots of extra damage enabled from the hack from Dudubudu, and some damage from Big Soup as well. Burning awfully quickly. Chunky goes with another great pick. Oh, and an incredible headshot onto the Widowmaker. Center stopping the bleeding very quickly there. The payload is going to come to a halt. In terms of ultimates, Big Soup, 95% to his already. Chonky Ghost very close to his as well. And that's Dudubudu, again, trying to cause some disruption on the Widowmaker in the back line. Probably going to be able to finish that off. Ooh, maybe not. Rat King with a pick with the skill orb onto the Lucio. Widow ultimate comes out. So center a little bit easier to get picked off here. Going to need to watch their heads around these corners. But not as impactful as an ultimate as some other things. I say that, but that's going to be Dudubudu falling once again to this Widowmaker. Tomar is quite good here, landing some really great shots. But when they happen, sometimes it ends up being a trade, and USM is not necessarily finding the progress off of these great shots that they want. They're looking to take out this Moira on the right side. Backing up around point here. That's going to be Rat King with the Coalescence. Comboing with Big Soup, trying to get some big damage, and go ahead and take this pick onto Trilobite. It's no tank here for USM. They're going to have to back out a bit. That's a second pick and a third one. Center definitely cleanly winning this fight. Can be a little scary to push up too far on this particular map as Tomar is watching. Oh, perhaps he is not. That's going to be a swap over to the Ash. Mirroring Chonky Ghost here. Dudubudu in the back line. Doing a little bit of reconnaissance. Going to be Bob invested from Chonky Ghost. It's a little bit booped away. not getting maybe as much value as hoped, but still keeping people off the cart for a little bit longer. And that's going to be picked onto Trilobite. Once again, Center doing just a really great job of focusing down the tank here. And kind of a funky tank pick for this map. Perhaps Junker Queen is a bit of a specialty for USM.
30 seconds remaining.
Don't lose now. We're almost
And it seems like we've just begun, folks, but we are entering into last fight territory. That's going to be 20 seconds left in the clock. USM's really only going to have this one opportunity. And Center just wants to pop all of their ults right here. They just want to say, we're just going to go ahead and win this. 10 seconds left. It's possible that a Lucio or something like that could be able to respawn early enough. So Center is going to push up and kind of, you know, stuff the door here, make it an impossibility that someone could get to that cart. And they do go ahead and finish this off with only 64 meters on the cart. That is a really dominant hold here from Center College. All they really have to do is make it around this first corner. See if the comps change as the sides swap from offense to defense. And the win condition here for USM is really just to full hold around this corner for a very long time. And that is going to be tricky to do. Big Soup currently looking at maybe playing a Doomfist here, or perhaps just showing off an extra large slice of pineapple pizza. It's hard to say for certain. Center with kind of these scrappier, flankier type heroes, maybe looking to get that early pick, knowing they only really need to win 1 or 2 good fights. You're going to see Star Garden on the Mercy. Not something we have seen before. Big Soup not getting knocked into the ocean by the javelin, which was potentially a goal of USM here. Ooh, an early pick falling onto Star Garden on that Mercy. Is making progress on the cart here, and another great pick onto Star Killer here. Kind of a funny name there. I think Star Killer might have been the one who took out Star Garden. They're just wanting to clean up these supports, and this map is essentially theirs if they complete that. The Ashe is alive here, putting down some fire. Ooh, that's giving USM a chance to win this, or at least not lose here. They do go ahead and group back up, but Center's getting an important staggering pick. That's Rat King taking out the support on the side of USM. With the respawn timers, I mean, Center will get into this fight faster than USM can. Only about 10 meters away, maybe a little bit closer to 15. We're now entering the part of this map where ultimates are going to start to be the deciding factor. Really unfortunate timing there for that anti-nade. Negates a lot of the value that Rat King would have gotten from that ultimate. So this is actually a really great hold here from USM. And in terms of the ultimates, USM has a lot that are online or coming online soon. A great first pick from Doodoo Boodoo. That means Star Killer is not going to be able to use that ult in this fight. Another one coming out with the Pulse Bomb and the Hack. And Center wants to just look to end this here. I mean, there's 5 ultimates available for USM, but they're not going to get the chance to use it just due to that great first pick from Doodoo Boodoo. That is going to be Center taking map number 2. A closer one towards the end there than it maybe seemed like it could have been. I mean, well played at parts of this from USM. And the play of the game is going to be Tomar, the Ashe that was mirroring that of Chunky Ghost. We'll see in just a moment for what could potentially be the final map of this series. All right, map number 3. We are headed to Suravasa. Seeing a little bit of a switch in the lineup here. We're going to have Skelogello in for Dudabudu.
Ready for battle.
I'm not sure if these are going to be the comps that we stick with, but right now we're seeing Big Soup here onto the Mauga and Rat King on a Zenyatta. I mean, this is a deeply funky composition for center.
5, 4, 3, 2.
And it looks like they're sticking with it.
Initial flashpoint marked.
Yeah, interesting stuff. We're going to see Trilobite not on the Junker Queen. Very funny to me. Junker Queen to me is so valuable on these types of maps in particular, and maybe a little less valuable on the map that Trilobite was playing her on. Center needing to live here. Big Soup with a great pick onto the enemy tank. Center going to have to play around this corner for a sec here. Make sure they get back to full. Chunky Ghost going to be an important part of that with so much healing potential from the Moira. Star Garden swapping over to the DPS for this round and on the Tracer. Some great pressure onto the Echo. It's going to be Center taking this point over. Didn't notice earlier, but USM was able to get 21% on the point. In Flashpoint, it does go pretty quickly, so that's not so devastating. A Center already able to get past that threshold. But could potentially be important should this point slip back into their hands. First ult available is probably going to be Star Garden on the Tracer. An ult that has the potential to be very explosive or very does nothing. And we shall see here. Getting put onto the Orisa, and that's going to be Chunky Ghost following up with a great deal of damage from this Coalescence. And all of Center somehow manages to stay alive here in this fight. Likely going to have one more touch here, but that's it. And they're going to have to run pretty quick if they want to do it. A swap over to Ana is not necessarily what you want to see if you are, trying to get to this point quickly. It looks like they're not going to be able to do it. They don't have anyone that can get there fast enough. They're not running a very speedy comp.
I offer something more.
They're looking to get to point as quick as they can. Already on point. 20 more seconds until it actually unlocks, but center is going to be able to take up these kind of defensive positions here. Star Garden, they are taking this kind of forward position around these corners. Be able to tell where people are. Knock in and out of the cover. Jello potentially getting overwhelmed here. Ooh, it's going to be an ultimate out. Thankfully, Rat King coming in with an ultimate, keeping everyone from center alive here. But that is the coalescence here for USM. Picks are getting traded from both sides. Center does cap point in the middle of all this chaos. For looking for that pick on the support to go ahead and clean this up. Just the Soldier 76 alive. And the tank Trilobite is here, already respawned from the last fight. That's going to be center, getting it all the way halfway on this first flashpoint, or on the second flashpoint. Star Garden going to look to pop this ultimate here. Be on an unsuspecting support, unsuspecting DPS. That's a great pick to start things off. Big Soup also has ult. Might be looking to use it here. Gets CC'd, gets hit with the, anti-heal, all this other stuff. But the ultimate is still down here, which is enough for his teammates to go ahead and clean up. And that's going to be another round where they're just not fast enough to have another touch here. Center taking it, but there's just not a lot of speed in this composition here. It's really the Moira, the only character that can go really fast on the side of USM. Center having a little bit of a bad track record on this particular flashpoint the past few weeks. Setting up around point, and that's going to be Star Garden falling first to the enemy Moira. Chonky Ghost with an ultimate. He can find a pick here. That could be huge to go ahead and even things up, but in any case, center is starting to cap point here. Ooh, that's Chonky Ghost falling. Center complete the cap of the point. They do, so all they really need to do here is stall on point. Even though this looks like it's going to be a lost fight, center can still make progress. Looking to back up. Looks like it's only going to be 18% on the point for center here, but again, could still be important. Big Soup making a swap. No more Malga onto the Junker Queen. Rat King with the only ultimate here online for center. Skelejello gonna have his soon. Quite a bit more available for USM if they can use them proactively. It would really be quite disastrous for center here. They're getting a great first pick. That aggression from Star Garden. Ultimate starting to get popped. It's gonna be Skelejello falling. Things are evened up. Rat King having to invest his. Great pick on the Star Killer. Big Soup with another one. That's the knife kill. And they push them off. So center has already capped point and is back to ticking up that percentage even before the fight was actually fully won. Only one ult invested here from USM, but it doesn't matter that they have these ults if they're not getting the opportunities to use them. And with these kind of assassin burst damage heroes like Reaper, Tracers, and Yada on the side of center, it's making it very difficult for USM to really get the full value of these resources that they've accumulated. Once again, it's the Pulse Bomb kill to start things off, but we're going to see Rat King fall in this fight as well. And a DPS for a support is not usually a trade you want to make. Center looking to just kind of stall on point here. Likely that the picks won't go their way, but Star Garden getting a great pick onto the Moira. That's going to mean Center is going to be able to re-engage in this fight, hopefully while they still have only 4 for USM. Star Garden will have touch here. Center does have time to get back to this point, but needing to care and be pretty careful in these fights. Shanky goes pushing in with the Coalescence. USM powering behind this this central pillar here. Needing to get this pick onto the soldier who is still currently ulting, doing so much damage into Center. It's going to be Big Soup popping his ult as well, but with 2 supports alive, it's looking pretty futile. That is going to be the 3rd flashpoint here going to USM. 99 to 99, very, very close.
Flashpoint Temple.
Again, Center does struggle with that particular flashpoint. Hoping that they're going to be able to turn it around for these next couple of fights. Point unlocks in 10 seconds. Neither team is really on it, but they're just starting to come here. It's USM taking it first. As it flips over, Center is not on the point and losing one. Very, very unfortunate for Skelejello to fall there before the, fight really has a chance to get started. This is a lost fight for Center. We're going to even see swaps made. Chonky Ghost, or rather Skelejello swapping over to the May. I think that's a really great pick here into this relatively so mobile comp from USM. Star Garden gonna try to sneak around this left side, look for another opening pulse bomb. Could be great onto that Moira, but isn't gonna get either of them. Jello falling early again, very, very unfortunate. The burst damage from that pass ult could come in and negate some of the mitigation coming out from Rat King. So great from Center to kind of live that, but putting them in a really rough spot with the tank falling, it's looking like this is definitely a lost fight for Center once again. Potentially even a lost point here as it ticks up to 90% here. If Center doesn't get a pick pretty soon, this is going to be really, really difficult. And it looks like they're going to start backing out. Just going to go ahead and forfeit that one. Big Soup with a swap. Once again, this time on to the Zarya. Be pretty effective into this kind of high damage comp for USM. Looking like USM is going to get to the point a little bit quicker. Chonky goes starting things off with a Coalescence, doing some great pressure onto these folks who are on the left side here, almost taking out this Cassidy. But needs to back out. Very, very, very scary. While he's doing that and splitting the attention of those 2 other people, that's going to be Center taking this point and winning the rest of the fight. Chunky Ghost and Star Garden do fall, so might see a very quick engage here for the next fight from USM, but it doesn't look like they're necessarily going to be able to regroup in time. Hopefully those 2 heroes from Center are going to be able to get back in this fight very quickly. A nice even 5v5. Skelejello popping the freeze. Great pulse bomb from Star Garden on the Star Killer. But the ults here seem to be favoring USM a bit. They're gonna go ahead and back up and give point here. Center gets its reinforcements here. The fact that these ones have lived could potentially be very, very important. And great high charge damage from Big Soup. Almost to 100% on that. Oh my god, it's a massive Discord. Kind of sustains it for just a second, backing up and then running right on in, and that's going to be a huge graviton surge from Big Soup. And while Center does this, They are capping point here, so they are at 70% on it. Looking like this is last fight territory here for USM. Great that center still has at least one ult on the line, and that's none for USM. They put everything into that fight, and it did not pay off with that great Graviton Surge from Big Soup. Center was able to clean it up. They might not even have touch in this one, too. Again, they just don't move all that quickly. The fastest being the Soldier 76. And center does take the series 3-0, but a little tricky there looking, you know, going to the 5th flashpoint. It's going to be Skello Jello on the May with the play of the game. Great Icicle Flick onto Star Killer. And then gets a ton of this damage off of Big Soup's great Graviton Surge there. That's going to go ahead and wrap up match number 1 of the evening. Match number 2 is going to be Center Overwatch White, or Center Overwatch Gold, I misspoke, facing off against UAH. So thank you for watching this first match of the evening. In just about 10 or 15 minutes or so, we'll start the second one.
Initiating match.
All right, folks, welcome back. This is Center Overwatch Gold facing off against University of Alabama in Huntsville Blue, or UAH. First map here is going to be on Oasis, and the sub map I think is Library. I don't know. It's got books. Looks kind of like a library.
Ready for battle.
Center is going to be the team here on the left side. That is the blue team, not the left of where the camera is. Let me reorient. Center is the team here on the left side, the blue team. We're going to have Galvanijo on the Junker Queen, Blakeu playing it on the Sojourn, Who's James on the Tracer, Carp on Moira, Tooney on the Lucio. We see a fairly similar comp here for UAH, swapping instead of that Tracer to a Genji. As I can fulfill some similar roles as these mobile flankers, but Tracer really in a good spot in the meta game right now. Ooh, both Lucios are down in this fight. Going to be just one support, and that is the Moira here for either side. Ooh, that's going to be great for Center to pick up these early picks. So they're taking the aggression here, looking to get even more, and they do get 2 more picks. That's really great to kind of get more percentage on this point and stagger these people from coming back, and also to get some extra ult charge that this next fight can just sort of snowball in their favor. You see that reflected here with the 75% or 74 at the time that I started the sentence for Who's James on his ultimate, the pulse bomb. Carpet at 64 for his. Ooh, they're walking right onto Galvanijo, and he does fall. Still a potentially winnable fight. Blakeu in a very tricky spot here. That is going to be Center losing out here. Carp's going to stall for some extra percentage on the point, getting it all the way to 43%. As it swaps over to UAH. And he's going to help his teammates get back to the fight super duper quick here. Only 12% so far on the point for UAH. Let's start out with the Cole here from Carp. You might see a Cole from... oh, we won't, though, as Carp takes out his counterpart in Killmore here, and also takes out the tank. And they're going to want to take out this Lucio so he can't speed his team into this next fight. That's really great here. Center passing 55% on the point. Galvanijo and Blakeu going to have ult for this next fight. Tooney not far behind. James might be able to build up another one as well. They're going to engage with the Coalescence here. Just shut down Galvanijo once again. Really running quite quickly. When UAH goes in, I mean, it's very aggressive. It's going to be them swapping it over. Blakeu in a tricky spot, does get taken out. Center will have a slight ultimate advantage here with 4 online in the next fight. Hoping to find a solution to this aggression onto Galvanijo that keeps winning fights for UAH. The alts start coming out. That's going to be pretty much everything here for center being invested. And the picks do come out. That's going to be the first one, taking out the tank. But unfortunately, Toonie falls. This is a very tricky spot. Blakeu's going to need to make this next shot count. The Genji's so hurt. And the deflect right in the nick of time keeps that Genji alive until Galvanijo can come and take him out himself. Carp using that Coalescence off cooldown, essentially. Center wanting to take this point over. The Lucio does escape, but that was very, very important that center tapped point there. No ults on either side, not a single one. And unless this really stalls for a while, there might not be any. The closest is the Moira Gilmore. Scrappy, no ults fight here on point. Ooh, Blakeu falls first. The picks start coming out, though, for center. That's Galvanijo getting a great pick. Carp very, very hurt. Galvanijo really, really hurt. Looks like it's likely to swap over into UAH's favor, but with a great pulse bomb and a great boop, center is still in this. It's Who's James and Carp on point. They just need to take out this Junker Queen, it looks like. This could potentially be theirs. Would expect people to start coming back, and that Moira almost makes it to point here. Just doesn't quite touch. Very, very, very close, sub-map number 1 here on Oasis. Could be anyone's game. Second one here, a little bit more open. Some interesting high ground positions up here. Not every character can get up there, but something like a Sojourn or a Lucio could. Same comp here, no changes. It's Who's James on the Tracer and Shrub on the Genji. Center getting to point awfully quick. A little bit faster than UAH, who's going to look to take this kind of jump pad high ground up here. Genji on the point. Who's James going to chase after, and that's going to be the skill orb from Carp. Going to get that first, opening pick. And a pick under the Moira. I know the fight, isn't totally over yet, but that's definitely going to amount to a point cap here for center. Some great aggression here, but center knowing to kind of back it up and make sure that the point gets capped. It's going to be Toonie on point, getting the actual capture to happen. Starting to walk in. A scrappy fight between the tanks here. Galvanijo getting super duper hurt. It does fall again. And that seems to be UAH's plan every single fight when they're able to, is to just aggress onto Galvanijo and just put all of their resources right onto him. Carp super hurt. Healing Blakeu really, really, really needs to make sure they both stay alive here if they're going to try and re-engage. Carp really, really close to Coalescence. This is great. Point nearly flopped over to UAH, but in the nick of time, Carp gets this Coalescence. Blakeu gets 2 great picks. And they are going to clean this right up once again. Going to easily get them past half in terms of percentage. Toonie with a great pick onto the Moira, doing some sort of little side mission. I didn't catch any of it, but I'm sure it was still skillful and interesting. It was James playing the sneaky game back here, maybe getting spotted by the Genji. Gonna have to stay a little bit on edge, UAH, knowing that he's looking for it. Well, not the best pulse bomb I've ever seen in my life. Still keeps them away from the area for just a little bit, and that's one you just kind of want to burn off, cool down, and wait for another one. The value of getting that opening pick can just be so huge, and Tracer can build them pretty quickly.
I'm not a fan of setbacks.
And they're stalling on point just a little bit, but they're gonna go ahead and give it. Coalescence and Blade out from UAH. Likely going to take out Galvanijo. Again, they're just focusing him first. Those ults get popped, though, from UAH. Great pick from Tooney onto the Sojourn. So Center's going to have ult advantage here, and likely going to get to, 30 to 50% on the point here. Opening ult here. What is it going to be? Going to be that Coalescence from Carp, and a great pick from Blako to start things off as well. Beat gets invested. Oh my god, that's 3 ults, 4 ults here from Center College. Not sure if they needed every single one of those, but it's likely that they're just going to clean it up here. If they can keep them off the point here, it would really only be able to be this Moira possibly who could get to point. It doesn't look like the Doomfist is going to be able to do it, and that will be the first map going to Center College. It's going to be Carp on the Moira with the play of the game. Popping that Coalescence, soon as he gets it. Right. We will be back in just a moment as we select the second map. All right, map number 2. This is going to be Circuit Royale. these huge, wide open areas and long distance sight lines. This map is a favorite for snipers like Widowmaker, Ash, Hanzo. We will likely see that here from Who's James, who loves playing the Widowmaker on this map.
Ready for battle.
We're going to see Corn Please on the side of UAH, also wanting the Widowmaker, as well as Shrub on the Hanzo. And weirdly enough, Hanzo Maine will be playing the Zenyatta. Center will have Toonie on the Zenyatta, Carp on the Baptiste, Who's James on that trademark Widowmaker, Bleku on the Sojourn, and Galvanijo on the Sigma, mirroring the same thing over here for the support lineup and the Widow and tank for UAH.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
I see a sniper.
Stop the payload.
That feels much better.
Ooh, that's going to be the opening pick, the Hanzo Shrub, taking out Bleku, but Carp takes him out in turn. There is a little bit of progress being made on this cart, but Center potentially getting this to a choke point might be a little bit easier for them to hold. That's going to be Corn Please taking out Who's James. A very unfortunate pick here. Major trying his best to weave in and out of cover to stay alive here. Corn Please with another great shot, this time onto Toonie. Tricky with this double sniper. So much potential burst damage here for UAH. James looking to find this Widowmaker or this Hanzo. Sees about a pixel of her head, but isn't able to make anything happen off of that. This is looking pretty rough for Center. They already take the first checkpoint here. Corn Please one more shot onto Bleku, and another one onto Who's James. And Corn Please is just on fire for UAH here. Really, really, really scary. Toonie gonna be able to take out the first death of this Widow, I believe. Giving Center the opportunity to kind of push in here a little bit. Finally stop this payload. Gonna be ultimate here out from the enemy Sigma. Great Lamps is gonna keep Carp and Toonie alive. Who's James falling, but Toonie falling as well. Still a really tricky spot for Center College here. Two great picks here from Galvanijo. He should be able to duke it out on Carp for a little bit with his huge health bar, and they're not actually pushing him. They're going to go ahead and back up.
Suggest a sniper ahead.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Who's James with his ultimate up, giving Center these sort of wall hacks, as some people put it. Still looking for that, huge Who's James headshot that defines so many of our circuit maps. Widowmaker, this character can be so feast or famine, especially playing into an enemy one. You're either hitting shots or you're walking back from spawn, those are kind of the two modes. Who's James taking a great shot here and taking out Shrub, but Corn Please once again takes out Who's James. Those supports all being invested here for Center College.
It's go time.
Bleku invests his as well, but he falls before he gets any value out of it. Center is once again on the retreat. Who's James with a great pick onto the Baptiste. Zenyatta is down, but center with no tank is going to have to contest this site here. Another ultimate already available. Very, very incredible for this Sigma to be able to build that up so quickly, but center is going to clean up that fight. Finally stop this payload right when it's just a little bit before the checkpoint. Only a little bit left to go.
Sniper spotted. Heads down.
Could be the start of something great though here for center's defensive hold. You see the dragons being put onto the point here. They are going to take out Blaiku. Center in a very rough position to be down 2 here. It's unsure, you know, center looking around this corner, not sure if they should or should not go in. It looks like it's not going to be possible. I mean, that hesitation does potentially cost them. Two minutes and 50 seconds left for UAH to go ahead and complete their push here. Now, thankfully that we're in this last section, this terrifying Widow, Corn Please, on the side of UAH might get a little bit less value. Who's James going to go ahead and use his ultimate? He knows exactly where the Widow is. An incredible shot once again from Corn Please. This is not Who's James failing. This is Corn Please just being absolutely incredible on this Widowmaker. Just incredible shots. Like, oh, knows he's there before he even has the chance to peek. Just some incredible reaction time.
We must hinder the payload's journey.
It comes out onto Hanzo Maine. Blaiku dueling the Hanzo over on the left, the actual Hanzo, not the Hanzo Maine. Center is gonna have this opportunity to really make some space for the first time in a while. This can be really nice to push up, knowing that as they're fighting, no progress is being made on the cart. When they take a little pressure, they can just kind of back up here. So it's really just Galvanijo caught in this ult, for example. He's got those defensive, abilities. And now center just safely backs up into this other defensive position. Tooney gonna go ahead and invest his ultimate here to get rid of a lot of that extra damage that would come in through the window. Flux and the window come out for Center College here. Hanzo Main's gonna be able to negate a lot of that damage.
This ends now.
Center needs to find a pick here. Blaiku popping his ult. Gonna get a pick onto Hanzo Main. That's huge. Potentially a second here.
Let's get back to business.
It is a pretty impactful ult here. Of course, falling to Corn Please once again right at the end there. But still a great team fight win here from Blaiku's great ultimate. Having that little bit of cleanup too, Galvanijo taking out Corn Please could be really great here. He just wants to stall as much time as possible. Of course, this point has a very strong chance of not getting completed. It's been a really great hold here for center in this third portion of the map.
From my sight.
Here's James popping his ultimate. Great Sigma shields here from both teams are able to negate a lot of the sight lines for these Widowmakers. How does he do it? Corn Please once again taking out James. Well, James's ultimate was active. This is tricky, knowing Galvanijo is going to fall here. See that ultimate. Looking very unlikely that center is going to have touch here. Tooney is going to swap over to the Kiriko, going to be able to TP there, get to point a little faster, but only so much he can do to stall here. That is going to go ahead and be that push completing for UAH. They complete that at it does go to overtime, so that's still really great that center burned so much of the time bank.
Initiating match.
This could be a pretty scary offense here for center, assuming Corn Please continues on this Widowmaker.
guess you can't predict everything.
Both teams running much the same thing. Blakeu only on the Symmetra to play the piano here. Not going to be the actual pick, most likely, from this point here. We're going to see Tooney still taking it up on the Zenyatta. Sharp on the Baptiste. Who's James once again on the Widowmaker. Galvanijo on the Sigma. James making his presence known here just a little bit. Sneak around over to the left side. Oh, and the great first opening shot. That's going to be Who's James with the headshot onto the enemy Widowmaker. Knowing that they might be able to just win this opening fight could be really, really huge. Hanzo with his giant, 3 log-sized arrows is going to find a pick onto center, but this is definitely center's fight one here. Already getting around this corner. Really, really, really great to see. This can often be a section of the map, that first part, that can take a really, really long time for the attacking team to start pushing. The Widowmaker from the side of UAH, that corn please on the Widowmaker, potentially looking for some of these cheeky shots through the little tiny holes in the floorboards, or in these walls. Not able to find anything yet. That is going to be Shrub taking out Who's James, but Blakeu taking out Shrub. And the tank brawl is happening right up here on the payload. The center is just meters away. And that is going to be them taking it.
Hello there. I greet you. Hello.
Carpentuni maybe doing some high fives here on the point. Celebrating a successful fight win.
Hello.
Nijo pushed up here. Able to use his cooldowns effectively to buy some time for his team to go ahead and put this pressure in, taking these different angles. Who's James with a great opening pick. Blakeu getting 2. And Galvanijo finishing it off. Punching Shrub right in the mouth. That's going to be center at a blazing speed, taking this second point. Who's James does fall to the Widowmaker, but it really doesn't matter. He's just taking a little bit of extra space up here. Center takes that point quite quickly. Potentially even gives him an opportunity to swap if he wanted to. Is going to stick on it, even during this last kind of closer quarters phase of the map. Blakeu popping ultimate once again, takes out the lamp. Would love to get a nice headshot on a real human person. Ooh, great pick onto the Hanzo. Center a little bit of a lead in this fight. Nearly taking out Zenyatta as well. Center is able to take so much space in this. Already getting the payload nearly to the end, and Center's on just an absolutely blazing speed here. 4 minutes and 30 seconds in the time bank. Who's James falling? Center's going to opt to back up. They have so much time to complete this. There's really no reason to risk it. We'll see the flux here from both teams, actually. Onijo unfortunately getting rocked out of it. We're going to see the window here come out from Carp. Put in so much extra pressure here, and Center inches forward on this. Hanzo is still alive, should be able to have touch, but maybe he doesn't. Coming down to point, it's the Widowmaker and the Zenyatta, not necessarily the heroes you would want on this point. It's going to be a swap over to the Malga. sustaining, trying to put some extra damage here. But this is definitely looking to be in Center College's favor. Unfortunately, Tooney does fall here, and the respawns do favor UAH. So if they get more picks, this could potentially be a hold here. Taking out that Tracer, it's just the Zenyatta left. Doesn't get there quite in time, and that's going to be Center completing it with a massive time bank.
Score 3-3. Switching sides. Initiating match. Ready for battle.
All right, Center swapping over to the defense this time. Once again. These comps are the same as they were in the first two pushes here. UAH maybe losing a little bit of steam on their defense. And are hoping to stall out that 1 minute time bank really early on in this map here.
Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
We can't let them keep pushing. Stop that payload.
Ninja's barrier already getting taken down. Shrub getting the first pick onto Blakeu. Please taking out Who's James. This is starting to look similar to what Center's push did, just really quick. Already going to be able to take so much space.
They're moving the payload. Shut it down.
Now potentially, this is Tooney and Galvanijo living here, which could be huge. Getting that great pick on the Sigma, that means Center is going to have the opportunity to re-engage on this. Unfortunately, Galvanijo does fall, but still potentially a great position for Center here. Super hurt as that Widowmaker, but unfortunately, she takes out Tooney and not the other way around. And I guess they don't
Score
touch card at some point in there.
2-3. Switching
All right.
sides. Initiating match.
Interesting. All right, Center with 4 minutes and 19 seconds. Not needing to go all that far with their push here. But the key is really going to be to get around these two corners.
Ready for battle.
Once again, no changes to the comps other than that Blakeu is once again playing the piano. This time is Bastion. These heroes like Symmetra and Bastion are really quite good in playing the piano metagame. They have this pinpoint accuracy on their shots. You won't have the precision needed to be a professional pianist if you don't have,
All of us.
first shot accuracy. Blakeu, of course, going back to the Sojourn. Maybe not the best piano player in the game, but a really great choice so far in this series. Who's James with a great first shot onto the Widowmaker. As Center takes the aggression here with a second pick from Blakeu. This is huge for Center College here. Not necessarily in the bag yet, but really not much more to go. As they're having just so much pressure getting these picks. They're taking a lot of extra space, and they have so much time in the bank that they could get picked off and still come back and win this. That is going to be Who's James falling, but he's the only one. A great pick. Blakeu takes out the Widowmaker. Maybe only a couple people going to be able to stall here. The Lucio is prepared to do it. We see him just around the corner here. Let's get on point, but not the rest of the team is back. If center can get these picks early, it's going to be impossible for UAH to win this. Having to jump away the Winston. And that's going to be it. Center College taking map number 2.
Play of the game.
Alrighty, we will be back for map number 3. This is game point Center College up 2-0 over UAH Blue. See you in just a sec. All right, we are back. We are on map number 3 in this series. This is Suravasa Center. Once again, is up 2-0 over UAH. These have been some hard-fought fights, though. Very, very close game so far. This map is a bit of a favorite of Center College. Unfortunately, not a lot of counterplay potential when you're picking a flashpoint map with only 2 to pick from. But this is UAH's pick.
Ready for battle.
I've got a good
Currently, we're seeing Galvanijo on the Wrecking Ball. I don't believe deep in my heart that's what is going to actually happen on this map, but it would be very exciting if that were the case. Tooney on the Lucio, Carp on the Moira, Bruce James on the Tracer once again, and Blakeu on that Sojourn. Galvanijo, of course, swapping back over to the Junker Queen. A favorite on this particular map type. We're not going to see the exact same thing here from UAH, though. We're going to see this Ramatra and this May instead. Maybe looking to put up that wall and kind of lock up Galvanijo. We're already seeing that. Just so much aggression under the tank. Again, that is UAH's game plan. We saw that in the control point map Oasis. Especially crazy with just how the extent to which Galvanijo was not really that far in. You know, he was walking away, and just with so much speed, UAH is able to collapse onto him.
taking the point. Fall in.
Fortunately, Blakeu falling to his counterpart here. Once again, everyone looks at Galvanijo. While they're doing it, Tooney gets a great pick onto the Sojourn. Potentially another support could fall here. Or just the first support here. Hanzo Maine, both supports down for UAH. Tooney still on the site here, but not much he can do solo. Galvanijo swapping over to the Doomfist. He is alive and on point. I'm going to go ahead and get this empowered punch here. Nearly taking out this Ramatra. Hopefully someone from center can go in and get that task done. The May is going to fall, and center nearly capping this point. So close, but it looks like it might possibly get to 99%, and it does. 99% for UAH, and the ultimates start to come out. Harp uses his, but it's not necessarily any match for this annihilation from the Ramatra, and that's going to be center losing the first sub, point here, the first flash point. We're going to see Carp swapping over to the Kiriko. Potentially looking to use tools like that Suzu to provide a little bit of more utility for Galvanijo to stay alive.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10
Tons of ults invested here for UAH. And though center does fall in this, they hopefully will have a little bit more going into this next fight. With Bleku and Galvanijo both having ult. Not that Galvanijo's ult is so impactful, but still putting them at an advantage into this next fight.
Thanks for the help.
Running in now. Nijo walled off. Is going to be able to use his ultimate to sustain through that and get some extra damage in the process. So close to killing this Baptiste. Bleku popping his ultimate as well. Going to be able to cap this point here. These stragglers staying alive for UAH aren't doing much of, much helpful for the team. Just going to be kind of staggering themselves since center does have control of the point. Center does need to clean up the picks, or else what I'm saying won't be true.
Feeling better.
Looks like they are able to do that. Others coming back into this. Someone's going to have to stay on point and stall. It can't be Galvanijo, our big tanky Doomfist, because he is still coming back from the spawn right now. Uni investing beat. Try to go for this aggressive play, maybe getting a pick onto support. It looks like it doesn't happen, but it still buys center a lot of time and gives them a lot of space. Center really looking to take out this Baptiste in the back line here. Well, they're doing it. Point swapped over to UAH. Great kick onto the Sojourn. Looks like Tooney might be falling in this fight here, though. It's no supports alive for Center College. No sustain to live in this fight. Who's James still alive, peppering some damage in from the side. Galvanijo on point, punches into the May ice block, and is going to get taken out. Kitsune Rush coming in from Carp. They're really investing everything they have to try to win this fight, but it looks like it's not going to happen here. Alts get committed. Center just rotating who's going to have touch here in these fights.
What's up? Let's attack the objective.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
I think UAH might get to point faster than center. Center up on this high ground area. With a great slam, gonna get in there pretty quick. A huge lamp though keeps a lot of them alive from UAH. Galvanijo able to get a pick or two. Lose James with another one. Looks like this fight is going in center's favor, which is very exciting to see.
I am on the objective. Report here now.
A little scrappy back and forth in there. Here's James, as always, playing sneaky in the back line. Looking to pop this pulse bomb for just a quick assassination kill. James noticing that Moira didn't have her Fade ability. It was a prime target, and the rest of the team following up on that information. Really, really great plays here. Cooney the only one to die from Center College, but it's not really going to matter a whole lot. He gets back awfully quick with those rollouts on Lucio. Carp going to have his ultimate online pretty soon. Same with Tooney once he gets back into this. Gawanijo playing forward, taking some space. He's in this with Who's James. Some damage in the back line. It looks like folks are going to get onto this site pretty easily. Both support alts out from Center College, but the damage is just too much with this freeze here. That's going to be them falling in this fight. Cooney getting out alive. Still opportunities to engage as Carp does use his ultimate. Gonna take this as an opportunity to go ahead and swap over to the Moira. Doesn't quite find a target there with the pulse bomb. Gawanijo with the Meteor Strike. Maybe look to do some big damage into the enemy tank. Ice block, making it difficult. Gawanijo not going to be able to get out alive. Center nearly swaps the point over into their favor. Great pick onto Hanzo Maine. Huge ultimate here in the Ramatra. The point takes to 99%. Still has this ultimate active since it's just been taking damage down on people the entire time. And that sustains how long it gets used for. Blaiku onto the Sombra. Gonna get here fast and maybe shut down this Ramatra. Center with a really impressive stall, but it looks like it's just not gonna happen, and that is gonna be the map going in favor of UAH. That's a 3-0 win on Flashpoint. Not sure what the issue was here. Was it the comp? Was it the positioning? And it did try two different comps here. Both had some successes, but neither was quite able to overcome UAH in this. We will see what happens in map number 4. This is 2-1. Still match point for Center as we go into the next map, but with a little bit of renewed energy here from UAH. map number 4 here. This is going to be New Queen Street. It's a push map. And we are at what could be match point here for Center College, up 2-1 over UAH. UAH taking the flashpoint map, number 3. Could also be the start of a reverse sweep here.
Ready for battle.
A friend of mine has a massive collection of vintage vinyl.
That's sick. If they want, I could send
We're
them
at center here. We're going to see Uni and Carp on Lucio and Moira for the supports. Who's James on the Tracer, Blakeu on the Sojourn, and Galanijo on the Junker Queen. Swapped off of Junker Queen in the beginning part of the last map, but back on it for this one. We're going to see this kind of Ramatra brawl comp here with the May from the side of UAH. They're going to take the high ground here. They're playing under the opposing team here. I mean, Center does have control of the robot for just a moment. Gets control back in the side of UAH here, but robot control is not really what either team is playing for in this part of the map. They're trying to win the fight. That's what's going to give them the chance to make actual progress on the bot. Harp taking out his counterpart Killmore. Who's James taking out the May. It's going to be, I think, a 3v4 here. Center in the lead. Ramatra still alive, going to prevent Center from getting any progress. So good that Carp is going to be able to take out both of them.
You cannot escape me.
Coalescence is going to be online very soon for Carp, who got some great picks in that first fight. Who's James actually gets the first ultimate off. That's the Pulse Bomb. Takes one out. And the Coalescence here is going to pick up even a few more. Great fight here for Center College. Hopefully that's even going to get them to this first checkpoint here. Going to give them access to a closer spawn. On this high ground here, Center is playing underneath them. Starting to drop down here. Ball doesn't seem like it finds a whole lot. Blakeu gonna pop ult. Galvanijo awfully hurt here. Looks like he's gonna be able to get out alive, but can't say the same for Blakeu here. And the ultimates start coming for UAH. Center gonna be able to burn through the Ramatra, but there's still folks alive. They're focusing one target at a time here.
Your time's up.
And that is going to be what makes that fight winnable. Really awesome for them to continue making progress on the cart here. Going to beat another Pulse Bomb and Rampage here. Soon going to have another Coalescence. Galvanijo looking to make sure that Queen kill gets secured. Noticing she was awfully hurt, and the Coalescence comes out to try to heal her up, and Coalescence can't heal purple enemies, so very good call there. Another Coalescence is going to be online for Center very soon here. No ultimates, not a single one here for UAH. Center going to have, again, this early Coalescence. Really great here. Center looking so dominant on this push map.
Cannot escape me.
And Blakeu, just in the nick of time, probably just a pixel through the doorway that he could see, is able to secure a great final pick here. Here's James with the pulse bomb. Gonna look to lock up a support potentially. We see a trade here. Kickstart coming out. They can't swap to a stall pretty soon here. That's going to be center winning this map so quickly. The Tracer does come out, so maybe got to postpone that celebration for just a sec, but that's going to be center taking the 4th map at an absolutely blazing speed. Never really in UAH's control at any point in there. Play of the game is going to be Carp on the Moira, who got a couple of great, very quickly charged coalescences. And that's what we're going to be seeing here.
In chaos lies opportunity.
Really great games here. A little bit of up and down in those first 3 matches, but a very dominant game number 4 here. That's going to be center winning 3-1 over UAH. Let me just update the scoreboard for you real quick there. That's going to conclude our matches for the evening. We do have one more Overwatch match tomorrow. This is the same team, Center Overwatch Gold. They're going to be taking on Georgia Tech White. It's going to be at 7:30 tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. You all have a great rest of your night.